In the stillness of the desert night, beneath a canopy of stars watching from eons past, whispers of ancient mysteries drift like the sand. Here, where earth and history conspire, shadows of the Great Pyramid beckon, cloaked in enigmas uncarved. Imagine chambers undiscovered, secrets unspoken within walls that know no language, only silence. As we journey through this landscape of forgotten knowledge, hear the ancient echoes of the Osirion, ponder over black granite boxes in Saqqara that defy explanation. These chapters of Egypt unfurl mysteries woven with time, raising questions that entice our deepest curiosity. Enter the quiet revealer's path. Let each mystery unfold softly and profoundly. As dusk gently drapes over the horizon, let us embark on a journey into the heart of ancient mysteries, where whispers of time guide our steps through the sands of Egypt. In this land of sun and stone, there rises a monument so grand and enigmatic, it defies the passage of millennia. The Great Pyramid of Giza, an eternal sentinel of mysteries, stands there mute, its voice silent in the symphony of inscribed tales that Egypt boasts. Yet, within its grand silence, a story unfolds, one that beckons us to explore the realms of the unseen and the unsaid. The absence of hieroglyphs within the Great Pyramid lends it a peculiar air of sanctity and mystery. Unlike the richly adorned tombs and temples where every wall speaks the language of gods and pharaohs, this monument chooses silence as its universal tongue. What does this silence hold beneath its majestic facade? Does it signify a forgotten era, or perhaps a deliberate adherence to some arcane code of etheric secrecy? Here, amid the sands and silence, words unspoken resonate more deeply than those carved in stone. As we contemplate this enigma, an unspoken essence pulsates within the pyramid, a silent heartbeat timelessly echoing its secrets. How do we navigate the delicate line between knowledge and the imagination when attempting to decode such quietude? Some scholars suggest the pyramid's creators held a unique philosophy on permanence, favoring function over ornate display. Alternatively, this profound lack of inscriptions might suggest a more significant spiritual purpose, one transcending the earthly desire for written word. As we delve into this enigma, prepare to engage with interpretations that stretch beyond conventional understanding, into realms of timeless thought and possibility. Peer into the shadows cast by time, where whispers of forgotten lore dance like ethereal beings, inviting us into the depths where the sacred was once secreted. Could the missing hieroglyphs hint at esoteric wisdom sealed within the stones themselves? Perhaps the architects channeled their sacred traditions into the very architecture rather than linguistic expressions. Might the Great Pyramid be an unexplored library, where only enlightened souls can comprehend its unseen truths? In this space of conjecture, various metaphysical interpretations arise, offering a kaleidoscope of insights. By stepping beyond empirical constraints, we flirt with the prospect of a civilization communicating cryptically with the cosmos, an engagement with universal consciousness, the ultimate key unlocking the silent language of stone. Admire, then, the silent guardians of this enigma, the laborers who toiled under blazing suns, meticulously assembling stones to cloak ancient knowledge within their stony majesty. For generations, humble hands and skilled minds alike contributed to creating this heritage of limestone and granite, yet no name entwines with its foundations within the depths of the pyramid. Such anonymity provokes thought. Were these souls simply human, or perhaps intermediaries connecting the worldly with the mystical, reaching across the divide between material and divine? Reflecting on their existence, a sense of reverence emerges, a connection transcending time to those who meticulously shaped legacy from indomitable stone. Could their mission have extended beyond material confines, steered instead by clearly seen but unspoken directives from higher planes? Such contemplation elevates these figures from obscurity, inspiring visions of a sacred craft where mysteries persisted through their hands, unyielding to time's relentless march. In a universe where narratives weave myths and histories into one, the Great Pyramid's blank tablets form a captivating tapestry, laden with potential import. Are these omissions purposeful, kindling a divine aura around seekers of truth? Or do they allude to an epoch lost, a time where different expressions of human experience flowered beyond the constraints of language? In sifting through these narrative threads, we perceive the pyramid's evolving role across humanity's timeline. Each interpretation traces a new strand in this fabric, implying unseen dimensions in subtle yet profound ways. We venture forth, embracing possibilities as the truths that uncover themselves dance alongside mysteries forever eluding our grasp. Ponder the Great Pyramid's purpose as a divine metaphor amidst architecture, breathing life into the notion of a structure transcending practicality. Its absence of narrative inscriptions reflects an unspoken inner journey where stone tiers rise as celestial ladders linking the mortal to ethereal heavens. Ascending each tier becomes a meditation on human potential, a pursuit of illumination derived from experience and intuition rather than rote dictates. Here rests a profound metaphorical detachment from written tradition. Enlightenment sought through the soul's climb upwards, led not by external dogma, but by the perennial energy of age-old structures themselves. Consider also that the missing hieroglyphs might not result from neglect or omission, but rather a deliberate adherence to ancient wisdom. Could this very absence be a statement on the transience of human achievements? Paradoxically, this silence, rather than diminishing its presence, amplifies the pyramid's enigmatic aura, transforming it into a canvas of personal interpretation. In the embrace of such philosophy, silence evolves as an act of humility, a conscious acknowledgement of humanity's temporal attempts against capturing the infinite. The pyramid, like a Zen enigma etched in stone, invites seekers on journeys of introspection, guiding towards an existential understanding beyond the tangible and the confined. Envision how the Great Pyramid draws us, lacking mandates but extending instead an open invitation into its contemplative depths. As seekers of truth and curious explorers, we stand poised on precipices of time, our eyes tracing the infinity within the ancient heart's quietude. Its call that promises revelations fathomless, extending beyond the perceptible and the articulated. Thus, our odyssey becomes not a mere gathering of facts, but a pilgrimage of spirit towards communion with universal wonder and mystery. In hieroglyphic absence, a limitless expanse emerges, the mind traveling unfettered across ancient Egypt, contemplating not just the land of the Nile, but the essence of being itself. Feel within the pyramid's vast stones a guardian's echo, embodied in faithful watch over knowledge untarnished. These missing inscriptions may represent an intentional absence preserving sacred lore. The lack engenders dynamic engagement, revealing layers of spiritual meaning through meditative encounters rather than plainly written doctrines. This was a people adept at embedding the divine within geometry's silent tongue. As custodians of cosmic secrets, they knew true knowledge defied articulation, its essence shielded from forgetfulness. Their guardianship resounds through ages, securing sacred truths amid changing times. Stand, then, in the shadow of creation, drawn in by its silent call, the recognition of cosmic entities communing across realms. Could its absence of narrative indicate not ignorance, but an intent to inspire, urging generations to seek through direct exploration? Rather than prescribed mandates, the Great Pyramid appears as an oracle, vibrating harmony that whispers to explorers guided by experience over explanations. Here, travelers encounter guidance drums of universal rhythms, orchestrated through stone symphonies, resonating with infinite marvels lingering beyond thought's quiet boundary. Within simplicity, the Great Pyramid achieves transcendence unbound by phrases, a beacon attrapting those attuned to subtler frequencies, the silent vibrations of rock harmonizing with the wanderer's heart. We, pilgrims on this path, meet our perceptions anew, learning to find depth amid the lucid simplicity of ancient philosophies. Aligning our questions with immaterial dimensions still resonant, we trace the footsteps left by the pyramid's architects, an enduring chronicle framed by time's river. With reverence, curiosity, and wonder as companions, we accept the Great Pyramid as both participator and observer of timeless currents, narratives unwritten yet eternally inscribed upon existence's scroll. In the shadowy vastness of ancient time, shrouded in the whispers of history's breath, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands as an enigma, unwavering in its majesty. Through centuries, it has silently endured, a stone sentinel to the mysteries of ages past. Yet, within its imposing grandeur, a secret whispers, a void concealed from the eyes of antiquity until 2017, when the veil was lifted through a dance of cosmic particles and modern science. The world's curiosity turned inward as muon tomography, a bridge between the temporal and eternal, unfurled a hidden chamber, inviting us to ponder its purpose and origin. This revelation merges the tactile with the ethereal, hinting at complexities far beyond current comprehension. Within the limestone and granite heart of the pyramid lies a space, unseen and untouched, its presence challenging our understanding of what the builders knew of time, stone, and stars. What arcane knowledge inspired this sanctuary, and why was it left hidden through the ages? The builders, with skills transcending their epoch, perhaps harbored insights obscured by the sands of time. Their legacy, often reduced to stone and shadow, resurfaces through the discovery, urging reflection on the motivations and secrets embedded in their enduring creation. The whispered tales of their toil echo across millennia, their handiwork reflecting a civilization of profound capability and vision. How did they achieve such monumental feats without tools purportedly beyond their grasp? Was there, perhaps, a marriage of the tangible and intangible, wisdom drawn from earthly and celestial sources alike? Theories abound, speculating on technologies forgotten or mystic methodologies lost to time. Regardless of the how, the why deepens the mystery, demanding an exploration into the potential spiritual and esoteric insights that may have driven their relentless pursuit of monumental grandeur. In the unassuming dance of particles, modern scanning technology has whispered this chamber's secrets to us, utilizing cosmic muons, born of stars, to peer through the pyramid's dense walls. The heart of this ancient structure has opened its mysteries to our gaze without disturbance, revealing dimensions and forms that have remained hidden since the dawn of history. This interlude of revelation marks a conjunction of science and spirit, where empirical data meets the intangible quest for meaning. Without disturbing a single stone, This method harmonizes the ancient with the cutting edge, unveiling a shadowed chapter long sequestered in stone. It invites us to contemplate not just the physical dimensions of the void, but its potential narrative significance, the stories that might reside in its emptiness. Was it a structural necessity, a relieving chamber in the parlance of engineering, or did it serve a higher, perhaps ceremonial purpose? Did this silence-born space store knowledge considered too potent for the profane? Or did it play a role in a cosmological or metaphysical narrative, a silent witness to rites, both earthly and celestial? We drift through these musings, attentive to both historical context and visionary exploration. The Great Pyramid, erected in what we term the Old Kingdom, breathes with the aspirations and spiritual beliefs of a time where monument and eternity were synonymous. Each stone laid was imbued with purpose, potentially housing hidden wisdom within. The discovery of the void stirs this inquisition, recasting our archaeological narratives and inspiring contemporary imagination. Ruled by a cosmic harmony, the pyramid aligns with celestial bodies, its angles and foundations reflecting a profound understanding of the universe's rhythmic dances. Might this newly unearthed chamber harmonize with this cosmic tune, a physical manifestation of spiritual geometry? The sacred geometry woven into the pyramid's design echoes throughout, hinting that the void may integrate with a divine symphony, shaping energies in alignment with starry realms. The absence of hieroglyphs or inscriptions within the Great Pyramid alludes to a deliberate silence, a pause more eloquent than stone-carved words, inviting meditation beyond the tangible. Here, the void becomes a vessel of introspection, a contemplative conduit through which we traverse our own soul's journey. It invites us to consider ourselves, to embrace the mysteries within as we stand on this threshold between the known and the unknown, where sacred and scientific realms converge. Through this silent chamber, we are drawn to revisit ancient scriptures, mythologies, and philosophies, the pyramid texts, the Book of the Dead, Hermetic teachings, each offering fragmented insights into how such a space could serve in the arc of life and sacred cosmic order. These texts, absent in the void, echo within the narrative, suggestive of communal memories forgotten but not lost. They urge us to imbue the void with stories, to weave our interpretations into the space where narrative threads intertwine with myth and mysticism. The investigation moves beyond mere physicality, resonating with soundscapes and vibrational connections transcending traditional audibility. Could this chamber, in its silence, serve as an amplifier for esoteric knowledge, an acoustic space enhancing unseen frequencies or spiritual harmonies? The concept of resonant vibration within this ancient construct opens a path to the convergence of sound and sacred space, inviting us to perceive the whispers of sonic legacies left by the pyramid's architects. As seekers of knowledge, guided by respect and curiosity, we embark upon this archaeological odyssey with humility. Our task is not simply to uncover, but to engage in a dialogue with time, balancing between the tangible remnants of history and the intangible whispers of possibility. The void remains, its potential pathway intertwined with the sagas of those who labored beneath its stones, challenging us to reimagine ancient methodologies and lost wisdom. This narrative journey beckons us unto the heart of the unexplored, where mystery merges with reflective contemplation, enticing the discerning mind. Here, a space emerges not as a void, but as a bridge connecting the myriad layers of human history to a legacy of sacred silence. Suspended within this silence, the void, yet untouched, transforms into a sanctuary of potential, a locus for inner exploration, encouraging our alignment with the universal rhythm and fostering our journey into the unseen. In this space, where silence speaks, we dwell on the ancient architects' cosmic insights, their ability to conjoin human endeavor with celestial awareness. This void may be understood as a translator between epochs, balancing time's flow and situating us within a cosmic tapestry. Each pathway, each celestial alignment, offers guidance, urging us to embrace its resonance and vibrational messages conveyed within its sacred, uncarved walls. As we turn inward, the intimate introspection mirrors cosmic odysseys, an allegorical passage guiding the soul through layers of understanding, translating void into visionary reflection. The void cannot be mere absence. It is a latent portal, a tantalizing prospect for discovery. Its secrets, hidden yet curiously offered, become catalysts for an eternal dialogue between past, present, and limitless future. This contemplative engagement invites our alchemical transformation, guiding us beyond the known into infinite potential. The void becomes an alchemical passage, a fusion of matter and metaphysical insight, inviting us to explore beyond empirical confines and embrace a unity born of cosmic and personal mysteries. Within this narrative, we attune to the vibrations of inner journeys and cosmic alignments, probing the accommodations, symbolic resonances, and enigmatic architectures that define this concealed chamber. We transform the void into a repository of primordial questions, an invitation to dream, ponder, and engage with the cosmos through contemplative wonder. In conclusion, the enigmatic chamber within the Great Pyramid of Giza calls first to meditative hearts before academic minds, leaving us between awakenings and celestial encodements, urging us to seek existential truths woven between stone and silence. As we draw breath in union with ancient echoes, we stand ready to extend our exploratory reach further into the realms of the void, a cosmic and eternal odyssey of discovery intertwined within the silence of stone. Beneath the shifting sands of Abydos, cradled within the arms of ancient mystery, rests a mesmerizing enigma known as the Osirion. This subterranean marvel stands apart from the Egyptian landscape, its presence a silent testament to an architectural lineage that echoes back into the shadows of forgotten antiquity. It beckons us, with its massive granite blocks, each weighing upwards of 60 tons, to ponder the depths of engineering prowess not typically associated with early dynastic Egypt. Scholars, both seasoned and fledgling, find themselves drawn into its depths, urged to explore its origins and its purpose, whispering tales of civilizations beyond our recorded history. Abydos, this sacred city, where the Osirion finds its home, is a necropolis layered with spiritual resonance. Here, the ancients sought communion with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. The sand and stone of Abydos are soaked with legend and storied history, offering a spiritual tableau where myth and reality intertwine. It is a place where the veil between this world and the next is said to be gossamer thin, allowing for a sacred exchange that feeds the mysteries of this ancient city through the eons. Visiting the Osirion incites contemplation, for its architecture contrasts sharply with the structures that stand sentinel around it. Invoking the aura of a cathedral not of this earth, its granite pillars uphold a stone canopy, echoing timelessly within its subterranean confines. Here, the craftsmanship is otherworldly, inspiring awe among those who dare to delve into its secrets. Water from the Nile slips into its depths, forming a reflective pool that magnifies its ethereal properties. Some suggest this was by design, a tribute to the sacred waters treasured by Osiris. Unlike its neighboring edifices, adorned with carvings and inscriptions, the Osirion stands unadorned, its silence deepening its enigma. Granite, the material of the Osirion, defies conventional expectations. Transported from distant quarries, these monoliths compel us to reevaluate the logistics and techniques of stone manipulation lost to time. Granite's renowned hardness suggests forgotten mastery, inviting us to imagine tools and techniques beyond our understanding. Its enduring strength, etched with the passage of millennia, speaks of builders who perhaps intended their work as a testament to eternity, a testament imbued with esoteric knowledge encoded within its dimensions. As we explore, the question of the Osirion's age beckons us. Some geological studies hint at water erosion not consistent with Egypt's current arid conditions, whispering of a prehistoric era where the land was lush and alive with rivers. This hypothesis invites us to contemplate a civilization that preceded the pharaohs, a civilization whose stories mingle with the foundational myths of ancient Egypt. What could lie within these stones? And what might they reveal about a timeline of humanity that stretches further back than we dare to dream? Myths of Osiris wrap themselves around the Osirion like gossamer threads. Stories of betrayal, dismemberment, and miraculous rebirth told for generations. Within the stone of the Osirion, these legends of transformation find a home, offering a physical representation of the journey from mortal life to divine eternity. The Osirion becomes more than a monument. It is a vessel steeped in cultural psyche and metaphysical truth, where myth becomes tangible, inviting introspection and the convergence of the spiritual and the innovative. A stark and solemn stillness envelops the Osirion, heightened by the presence of ever-present water, resonating with the divine. This pool, a liquid mirror, reflects a primordial ocean, a symbol of life emerging anew, nourishing the soul of Abydos and the myths of Osiris. Water, with its sacred symbolism, transcends physicality, blurring lines between devotion, engineering, and the mysteries of existence. Through this ancient lens, we are encouraged to reflect, to allow our perceptions to dive deep into its depths, searching for the truth that waits beneath its tranquil surface. Here, amid silence and the flicker of ancient light, we are offered insight into sacred geometry, lines, angles, and symmetries that might reveal metaphysical truths to those open to seeing. Each stone's placement seems precise, as though aligning with the cosmic dance of celestial bodies. The harmony of geometry, embodied in every aspect of the Osirion, pulls us inward, fostering a deeper connection between the world above and the hidden realm below. Might this structure serve as an esoteric temple for ancient initiates, guiding them toward enlightenment? Its design seems to suggest a purpose beyond physical understanding, a place where the spiritual intersects with reality in ways that challenge our contemporary paradigm. Within these enveloping walls, introspective meditation aligns us with universal truths. The Osirion, these massive stones, stand as sentinels of a consciousness that saw far beyond our current limits. They seem to possess animistic power, whispering secrets of worship and reverence, encouraging thoughts of what awaits us in the overlap of myth and story. Were its builders, architects, perhaps lost to time, constructing during a global epoch where knowledge had no boundaries and humanity's reach extended seas and stars? pilgrims once journeyed to Abydos, seeking to secure their place in the afterlife. Perhaps the Osirion was a heart within these journeys, promising spiritual transformation and enlightenment. Ancient Egyptians believed these sacred rites within would guide them safely through death and into the eternal embrace, transformative rituals steeped in power. In the Osirion's stillness, the connection to the cosmos becomes perceptible, offering tantalizing hints of ancient wisdom enshrined in stellar alignments. These alignments might not only reaffirm a celestial bond, but invite us to explore our own connection with the universe. Such resonance challenges us to see what lies within our reach, yet beyond our understanding, grasping the larger cosmic dance. Comparing the Osirion to global structures, Stonehenge's silent stones, or the temples of Malta, creates ripples of connection across cultures and epochs, forming a universal dialogue about humanity's pursuit of meaning. In the Osirion, we find a paradigm, a convergence, where secrets speak not just to the Egyptian heart, but to a shared human lineage. Our journey through the Osirion's passageways extends beyond the purely factual and into speculative terrains. Could it serve, perhaps, as a portal between worlds, an astral chamber that transcends our empirical framework? While these musings remain in the realm of imagination, they invite possibility, presenting the Osirion as a conduit through which ancient visionary creativity was expressed. Caring for the Osirion demands a delicate balance between curiosity and preservation. Modern exploration employs groundbreaking technology, LiDAR, radar, allowing us to trace its hidden contours while preserving its integrity. Each step forward blends technological prowess with ancient mystery, unraveling secrets while respecting this sanctuary. The sacred geometry within asserts that the cosmos unfolds in mathematical harmony. Engaging with this geometry, we align with universal principles that connect the metaphysical and the tangible. Each alignment, each stone, resonates with cosmic elegance, guiding us toward uniting heaven and earth within our comprehension. Abydos, through centuries, has remained a touchstone, a cultural legacy interwoven with rebirth and continuity. As we ponder its transformations, we honor the uninterrupted thread binding past and present. The Osirion invites us to explore its enduring resonance. With recent archaeological advancements, new questions arise about the Osirion's broader impact on cultural memory. By merging history, science, and spirituality, meaningful discoveries reshape its narrative, offering insights that deepen our understanding of this enigmatic site. Ultimately, the Osirion stands as a beacon of cultural heritage tightly woven into the fabric of Egyptian identity. Its towering strength transcends time, offering inspiration across generations. Through its stones, the Osirion whispers to those willing to listen, inviting them to rediscover and reawaken ancient knowledge within themselves. Viewed esoterically, the Osirion embodies spiritual enlightenment, urging those who approach to seek the divine mystery held within its silence. Absent inscriptions hold significance, prompting a deep inner reflection on the truths that reside beyond words. As stewards of this ancient legacy, we are tasked with preserving the Osirion's path into the future. Through conscientious stewardship, we honor its sacred journey and enhance our cultural enrichment, unlocking vast potential within the shared endeavor. Immersed in the Osirion's silent embrace, we find ourselves inspired to reflect deeply, meditating on life's cyclical dance. Interacting with this ancient monument elevates awareness, summoning echoes of lost rituals that resonate anew. Standing within the Osirion, one is captivated by its persistent mystery, a legacy that defies simplistic conclusions, yet urges ceaseless curiosity and exploration. Its presence resonates as a reminder of humanity's eternal quest for understanding, whispering secrets forged into its very stones. As we draw our narrative to a close, the Osirion remains a vessel of echoes, infinite and eternal, bridging the gap between what was, what is, and what remains yet to be discovered. Its stones, silently sculpted by human eons, continue to invite introspection, standing as a timeless testament to the enduring allure of mystery and the eternal dance between knowledge and the unknown. Nestled within the storied granite bedrock of Aswan, the colossal form of the unfinished obelisk rests silently. It is a towering testament, or rather the shadow of what was meant to be, to the unparalleled skill and ambition harbored by ancient Egyptian artisans. Had it been freed from its earthly cradle, this monolith would have rivaled the skies, the largest of its kind, overshadowing every standing obelisk across the lands. In its gigantic dormancy, it beckons a meditative exploration, an enigmatic invitation to delve into the depths of an era where stone, as a canvas, served not merely to commemorate, but to immortalize tales of power and divinity. Its abandoned creation hints at untold stories and challenges surmounted by a civilization whose technological prowess continues to elude modern comprehension. The sheer magnitude of this unfinished giant stirs wonder. Measured at a staggering 42 meters and weighing approximately 1,200 tons, its colossal presence speaks to the boundless ambition of a society that seldom settled for the ordinary. The very inception of such a grand undertaking raises questions of purpose and intention, an immense endeavor that surely required meticulous planning, unwavering resolve, and the labor of countless hands. Yet progress was halted, the reasons shrouded in a veil of mystery. Was it a miscalculation of nature, or some unexpected flaw that led to its desertion? The obelisk, in its incomplete grandeur, stands as both a marker of human aspiration and a monument to the limits of endeavor. The city of Aswan is a landscape spangled with geological wealth, rich in the coveted granite that adorned many of Pharaoh's ambitious projects. In Aswan, ancient Egyptians found the ideal palette, the perfect stone to use in their temple obelisks and statues, lending insight into the decisions that led them to pursue such imposing constructions amidst its quarry-rich landscape. The granite itself, imbued with resilience and stunning luster, was a testament to an authority that not only sought durability, but also revered aesthetic perfection in all its expressions. Furthermore, its significance extends beyond the material, the potential spiritual symbolism deeply interwoven with its cultural heritage. Embarking upon the artistic science of quarrying in Egypt was as intricate as it was ambitious. Skilled artisans utilized a symphony of tools, primarily fashioned from copper. Tools that, by our understanding, seem woefully unsuited to such hard stonework. Yet, here among the stone, peculiar marks tell a different tale, suggesting methods that transcend traditional understanding, hinting at lost knowledge and forgotten proficiency. Perhaps it was an art of overcoming the impossible with ambition and vision, a method so sophisticated it frees ancient minds from the shackles of time, leaving behind grooves and incisions that eternally whisper of their ingenuity. It is amidst these markings, etched into stone with an almost otherworldly precision, that modern scholars find themselves entangled in an eternal riddle. The depth and complexity of these inscriptions tantalize eager minds, a gateway to pondering the true extent of Egyptian ingenuity and the secrets that lie beneath both earth and history. Whether these marks suggest advanced instruments, long since lost or forgotten methods of incredible efficacy, makes for spirited debate and speculative whispers. A call to those who long to retrace ancient thought and technique. To ancient Egyptians, placing an obelisk was akin to anchoring celestial power upon the earth, a testimony to divine presence and royal fulfillment. These monumental sculptures functioned both as religious devotion to the sun, god Ra, and as political declarations, a dual purpose echoing throughout their culture. They were placed strategically to embrace the first light of dawn, drawing a symbolic line between the terrestrial and the divine. It is this delicate dance between godly homage and earthly dominance that the unfinished obelisk inherently portrays, an unfinished symphony, suspended between heaven and earth, faith and power. The art of constructing obelisks resonated far beyond spiritual homage or political loyalty. Such endeavors were statements of power, spreading the enduring legacy of a pharaoh across boundless territories. Through their inscriptions, they shared stories of conquests and lineage, etching the narrative of a ruler's might into the broad canvas of the skies. Of the unfinished obelisk, it remains a silent witness, an offering perhaps meant for a deity, a celebration of an achievement unseen, or possibly a tribute to honor. Its voice remains muted, awaiting the reflective whispers of wind and history. But why was this monumental task abandoned? The unfinished obelisk presents a canvas of potential narratives and invites curiosity into its untold story. Was it a hidden flaw, a fissure within the stone itself discovered only too late, thereby rendering further toil futile? Or were there changes within the political winds or financial limitations that diverted its completion? The possibilities of its unfinished presence are as numerous as the grains of sand along the Nile, each theory casting reflections upon the collective imaginations of those daring to probe its silence. Modern examination of this colossal would-be obelisk has birthed theories that traverse the expanse of technological comprehension, suggesting that perhaps the ancient Egyptians possessed far greater knowledge than we ascribe to them today. Could their artisans, equipped with nothing beyond copper tools, truly carve such feats without hidden tricks of the trade? Might advanced technologies await rediscovery, knowing that simpler interpretations of ancient innovation cannot wholly emulate their precision and grandeur? Each explanation beckoning those who dare probe beyond the methodologies of old to spark new dialogues between past and future. Copper tools alone, tools almost reverential in their archaic mastery, challenge those who question whether more resilient treasures lay in the Egyptian toolkit. Perhaps formulations now shadowed by history allowed artisans to accomplish incredible feats against formidable stone, an aspect rekindling discussions regarding the spectrum of forgotten innovation. The conclusions drawn from such contemplations open roads to fresh understandings, increased appreciation of subtle expertise buried beneath stone and silence, inviting nuanced narratives interwoven with history, yet unspoken. The unfinished obelisk, in its incompleteness, speaks volumes of ambition born of earthen dreams and celestial aspirations. It narrates stories of human endeavor, of reaching toward the unreachable only to confront unyielding realities that defer dreams in their execution. And yet, it is within this ambition's confines that the whispers of philosophy find fare, inherent questions of endeavor, of the eternal dance between vision and actuality that echoes across eras, inviting contemplation on the sublime and the finite. The artisans who sought to breathe life into this grand endeavor were steeped in knowledge and skill, their talents carefully curated over lifetimes dedicated to the stone. These masters of their craft stood as cornerstones in the edifice of Egypt's achievements, their labor bearing divine approval and royal endorsement. Delving into their societal roles and practices invites admiration for the invisible hands who chiseled dreams into timeless structures, a human tapestry interweaving aspirations, talents, and accomplishments ever carved upon the stones. Central to the narrative of the unfinished obelisk is the enigma of resources. Quarries that birthed monumental aspirations faced constraints, demanding balance between desire and feasibility. Each decision embodied a wager within their societal framework. Such an undertaking was a significant allocation of wealth and resources. The tale this unfinished monument unfolds is thus one of cost surplus and tactical withdrawal, intimately weaving humanity's greater grasp over nature's playground into a historical fabric, enfolding layers of ambition and constraint alike. Engineering riddles abound within the stone's forsaken embrace, echoing tales of lost techniques or forgotten scientific methods drawn from fulcrum leverage and artistic lubrication. Such musings drive further hypotheses surrounding logistics, catalyzing questions into the depths of traps sprung by intellects past, yet crafting how ancient wisdom might inform present pursuits with insight into resourceful ancient processes. They challenge our minds to redefine how we judge and mirror technological prowess. At its core, the unfinished obelisk reflects immense spiritual context. For ancient Egyptians, obelisks were hallowed vessels, channels to celestial forces expressed through terrestrial design. Even in its unfinished state, this obelisk draws upon symbolisms deeply embedded in esoteric interpretations of celestial and spiritual alignment. It awaits the minds willing to meditate upon its apparent silence to reveal those narratives so intricately woven in the celestial and terrestrial intersectionality of faith and admiration. Upon this stone-carved narrative rides the balance of understanding, bridging ancient practices with modern breakthrough revelations, an intuitive connection gazing backward through time, inviting forward reflection. The mysteries posed by the unfinished obelisk propel fresh inquiries into age-old practices, which in turn inspire contemporary methodologies and reveal hidden interconnections. A rediscovered pathway of collaboration across epochs, transcending former boundaries set by history and science. In chronicling achievements, one cannot overlook the role of laborers in monumental constructs, central to understanding pyramidal organization, cultural circumstance, and societal interaction. Recent research suggests a more intricate relation between laborers and sovereigns than merely master and servant, an interlaced series of exchanges where craft and compensation met society in obligation and opportunity. Such paradigms allow consideration that the unfinished obelisk's materialization came not from coercion, but from a broader engagement of hearts in faith. Despite its unfinished form, the unfinished obelisk elicits reflections of perseverance, the eternal calling of human determination across time, striving toward aspirational altitudes yet cruelly thwarted by worldly limitations. Here lies a message that transcends generations, infusing the collective with courageous life lessons while navigating existence through trials, substitution, adaptation, and evolution, so proving that civilization's quietened efforts echo on prevailing wind, reciprocal and resilient. The spectacle of restoration continues as today. scholars and preservationists bend their focus towards the stewardship of Egyptian legacies, such as this one. Such communities gather in unison under banners of conservation, interpreting preservation as a mere cultivation of shared understanding, with their interpretation veiling collective insight. Through the collaborative embrace of time, Agora safeguards timeless legacies preserved in stone, beckoning emerging generations to step toward passing torches, holding untold futures and unseen destinies. Beyond physical accomplishments, the cultural resonance of the unfinished obelisk reverberates through the ages, not just as a marvel of engineering, but as a beacon of cultural symbiosis. Its silent presence invites us to sense the whispered dialogues exchanged between cultures and eras as aspirations flow from one trailblazing civilization to others, coloring dialogues of continuity and intercultural appreciation through the annals of recorded times and shared human legacies. Art embodies all things, as stone transports messages of glory into form under guiding hands, driven by ancient illuminations, enriched with divinity. Egyptian artisans articulated their craft through deft transformations, where each stroke upon granite revealed life stories beyond a mere material form, sculpting dynamic narratives within inflexible stone. Through quiet alchemy, their artistry forged beauty into eternity upon the monumental foundation, an act as transcendent as their grandest ambitions. Poised in reflective essence, the unfinished obelisk serves as technological chronicles permitting civilizations long past, yet visibly embedded with unknown knowledge, to converse beyond analytic confines cast upon current existence. Its mark upon time bends perception of capacity and prospect, thereby intersecting great historical technologies with meaningful imagination. The obelisk's unfinished symphony tempts seekers into an exploration of paths still hauntingly etched into ancient possibilities, awaiting lyrical inscriptions not bound by archaic delight. With cosmic intimations, the unfinished obelisk aspires along with invariant celestial patinas, forming pathways across earth and sky directed by luminescent celestial bodies. Heavenly alignment held implicit within and through, rewarding those mumbling for deeper truths amidst mystical confluence, joining divine expression and terrestrial accord. An erudition compelling discovery where new whispers breach the horizon in celestial bearing. As time slumbers indefinitely upon tomorrow's unknown edges, the unfinished obelisk remains steadfast, offering yet more engagements between relic existence and emerging epochs. Its potential abides within discovery profound enough to awaken age-forgotten practices, which preempt a tender dance upon the stars, enhancing culture's learning anew. Through veils of protective passage, Aswan's monumental effigy sleeps, earning reverence in benevolent embrace, breathing with reverie threads once more at natural bridge and spectrum shared. A narrative claiming transcendence over constraints embedded in silenced banter, echoing the insightful horizon. Such is the unfinished obelisk of Aswan, enigmatic in its potential, illuminating in its silence, an epitome not merely of an endeavor momentarily thwarted, but of a society seeking to stretch beyond the sinew of history's grasping hands. Herein, across the timeless spectrum of earth and sky, ambition stands resolute, perspectives reframed, and aspirations unfulfilled yet vibrant, an eternal memoir of humanity's unfolding pursuit toward the encompassing horizon of our shared destiny. In the heart of Egypt, nestled by the serene flow of the Nile, the Dendera temple complex stands as a beacon to ancient civilization's spiritual prowess and architectural ingenuity. Among its structures, The Temple of Hathor beckons with its rich tapestries of history and mystique, devoted to the goddess of love and beauty, enticing with tales of celestial harmonies and divine melodies. Beyond the grandeur of its columns lies a deeper mystery, one that resides in the shadowy crypts, where the whispers of forgotten knowledge linger like echoes through time. Here, enigmatic reliefs have ignited centuries of debate, hinting at a story that transcends the boundaries of accepted history, a tale of light born from stone, akin to the electric lamps illuminating our modern world. Guarded by the soft murmur of the past, beneath bent and intricate hieroglyphs, these carvings ignite the imagination. They depict an unusual scene, a bulbous form, reminiscent of our own electric bulbs, encasing a serpent that winds with delicate precision. This serpentine figure thrums with symbolism and mystery, threading through the stone with the grace of ancient wisdom, while the bulb shape suggests a filament glowing with possibility and revelation. Luminous and perplexing, this image provokes theories that range from spiritual symbolism to speculations of forgotten, advanced technology. Might this be a representation of metaphysical ideas, or does it record a glimpse of ancient engineers who mastered forces we only begin to comprehend? The relief reveals more, framing its luminous subject with figures engaged in what appears to be sacred practice. Priestly figures, their gestures woven with care and ritualistic meaning, surround this motif. Anchoring one end, a lotus flower, the perennial icon of renewal and creation, reaches back into Egyptian consciousness, its roots tapping into cycles of birth, death, and rebirth. On the opposite end, a pillar often identified as the Jed, symbolizing stability and endurance, provides a counterbalance, grounding the ethereal light with earthly strength. Above, the weight of celestial significance is carried by figures caught suspended in eternal act, suggesting power and divine purpose resonate here. In the hushed silence of Hathor's embrace, each symbol speaks of deeper truths, shrouded no longer in mere darkness, but in thoughtful contemplation. The Hathor Temple, erected in honor of love and music, beams as a nexus where divine symbology intertwines with cosmic meaning. Its precision, its artistry, not merely art for art's sake, but as a testament to humanity's longing to touch the transcendent, reflect the societal values and ritualistic practices etched into its fabric. Amidst the whispered secrets of its walls, a debate neither hurried nor resolved unfolds. Does this scene depict an allegory of light as divine knowledge, or might it allude, with subtle hint and guarded glance, to a technological wisdom visited only through half-remembered dreams? Egyptian theology, steeped in symbolism, conjures through this interplay of image and myth, questions extending beyond concrete forms. It invites us to explore what threads of advanced understanding might be hidden beneath layers of allegorical art and time's passage. Curiosity kindled by these ancient lamps of stone reaches beyond Dendra's walls. It follows the echoes threading through civilizations that shared time's river. Could it be that akin to the Antikythera mechanism, a Greek device submerged beneath waves until discovery, Dendera holds within its embrace secrets of ancient knowledge eclipsed by contemporary understanding? If the pyramids, standing sentry in their desert silence, hint at giant batteries of energy, might Dendera too cloak a truth as audacious as it is elusive? Raising the specter of lost civilizations, theories astir suggest the line of transmission stretches far and wide. Could the insights engraved upon Dendera's walls owe their origins not only to Egyptians, but to those who flourished before? Their legacies diffused and diluted across epochs? These are not merely questions of academia, but resonant melodies of historical imagination, invoking us to perceive ancient accomplishments as pieces woven from splinters of forgotten lineages. Embrace, if you will, the whispers of Egyptian understanding, a worldview balancing the cosmic scales with divine insight. Within this perpetual order, the serpent of life weaves its tale, nurturing transformational journeys beneath the surface, beneath the stone. Hover amidst its enigmatic curve, tracing paths of continuity where lotus meets lamp, and discover the narrative not as disjointed past, but as a vibrant network of possible truths stretching far beyond, fueling a modern dialogue of insight and discovery. Indeed, scholars approach these mysteries with reverence etched into purpose. Where rumor and myth meet stone, a dialogue intersects with disciplined inquiry, each interpretation a leap of faith across centuries. Can the fibers blending myth into Egypt's consciousness offer real revelations about our past? Are these ancient artifacts signposts pointing towards connections that our modern eyes fail to see, encoded pieces waiting still for their meaning to be unlocked? Possibly, beneath the visible hues and lines traced by ancient hands, the old world gazes knowingly upon the new, offering insights to those patient enough to listen, to ponder, and not simply to see. Could there be some quiet truth in the carved serpent and the bulb awaiting illumination in our time, when the paths between mystery and understanding draw closer in the soft communion of ancient light and modern discovery? In contemplating these enshrined conundrums, may we stand gently upon this bridge woven through wonder, crossing ever closer to unremembered realms, where fabled stories and ancient lights intertwine in harmony, whispering in soft tones of celestial wisdom that once illuminated minds that came before, and perhaps, in due turn, will illuminate ours once again. In the heart of ancient Egypt, beneath the shifting sands of Saqqara, a realm shrouded in intrigue beckons. The Serapeum. It was the tireless work of Auguste Mariette, an Egyptologist who unearthed this subterranean enigma in the 19th century, bringing to light a monumental testament to the mystical and the unexplained. Known for housing the sacred Apis bulls, the Serapeum captivates the senses far beyond its known purpose, with its real mystery lying not in what is known, but in the silent secrets of its grand granite sarcophagi. These vast underground tunnels delve deep into the earth, echoing measurements of time lost and wisdom forgotten, akin to wandering through a fortress that whispers of ancient voices. As one journeys through this labyrinth, they are enveloped in a palpable sense of stepping into an epoch where magic and reality entwined more readily than they do today. The sarcophagi found here hold stories yet untold, their smooth, untouched exteriors stark against the Egyptian custom of richly inscribing stone surfaces with hieroglyphic tales. Crafted from dense black granite, each sarcophagus presents an enigma, immense, sealed, and weighing between 60 and 100 tons. Their construction prompts contemplation of an advanced stonework mastery beyond accepted historical tools. Within these subterranean confines, doubt surfaces. How were these colossal blocks transported, and to what ends? Theories arise, stretching from traditional wooden sledges lubricated with water to the esoteric, invoking memories of technologies now lost to time, whispers of levitation, or the application of forgotten sciences that drift like echoes through the annals of our ancestors' minds. While the absence of inscriptions challenges conventions, it also opens a chasm between the known and the speculatively possible. The seamless lid of each box suggests precision intended for purposes greater than mere burial. Perhaps they safeguarded treasures now swept away by the sands of time. Or maybe they protected relics sacred to civilizations whose stories have been relinquished to the shadows. In their silent presence, these sarcophagi tantalize the imagination, inviting conjecture about lost technologies that seem as distant and enchanting as the stars. Tradition frames the Serapeum as merely a resting place for Apis bulls, sacred animals embodying the god Ta in life and Osiris in death. The grandeur of the sarcophagi seems fitting to emphasize the divine essence of these creatures, whose deaths prompted elaborate rituals intricately linked to deeper beliefs in eternity. Egyptologists date the Serapeum to various epochs, but specific timings remain shrouded in ambiguity, leaving room for interpretations that suggest an existence beyond even this sacred purpose. Could these enclosures have once cradled ancient wisdom before traditions adapted them for their holy spenders? For centuries, the Apis bull has commanded reverence, symbolizing strength and fertility, its veneration unbroken across countless dynasties. Upon death, their bodies were honored with rituals reflecting both extravagance and the spiritual significance attributed to them, nuances woven through a tapestry of life and afterlife. Thus, the Serapeum transcends simple logistics. It provides a lens into the intertwined ethos of Egyptian spirituality, where divine essence and earthly existence coexist, its granite guardians more than mere vessels, but perhaps gateways to eternity. The sarcophagi's material choices provoke as much wonder as their function. Granite, robust and enduring, offers protection for the precious, yet its selection begs analysis. For beyond the sleek allure of marble or alabaster, the decision to utilize granite involves logistical genius, even by modern standards. These choices hint at the technological capabilities necessary for the quarrying and crafting of a material as staunchly obdurate as time itself. Could this material choice reflect understanding of granite's unique spiritual or metaphysical implications? Threads of antiquity essential to journeys between worlds or spiritual realms? Imagining the mobilization of such titanic stonework opens doors to the perplexing legacy of ancient craftsmanship. Extracted and conveyed over vast stretches, these sarcophagi push the boundaries of comprehension. Primitive explanations tied to sleds and ramps invite skepticism when timed against the universal audacity of weight and space. Yet, the absolute precision of their craftsmanship mirrors aspirations far beyond, a mastery of perfect angles and immaculate surfaces, suggesting insights into stone manipulation that either exceed period conventions or speak of visions informed by the ethereal. Initially, the Serapeum presents itself as a traditional funerary site, yet nuanced exploration reveals broader symbolisms. Could the sarcophagi have served in convergence of energies, focal points critical to celestial balances or rituals now obscured by the veils of history? As enigmas woven within ancient Egypt's cosmic canvas, these constructs might transcend pure symbolism and utility, safeguarding not mere records but divine vibrations, energies harmonizing the cathedral of the cosmos. The stark nakedness of the sarcophagi's surfaces invites seers to contemplate possibilities beyond pharaonic inscriptions, where silence itself becomes a message resounding with untold profundity. To some, this lack suggests confidentiality or mystical preservation, perhaps protecting knowing endowed in secrecy or unwritten taboos, lost and rediscovered only in shadows. This deviation invites metaphysical reflection. Does the absence of script suggest our ancient brethren sensed an integrity of knowledge that demanded such severity of concealment? Modern rediscovery by Mariette thrust the Serapeum into scientific examination. Yet despite contemporary tools inching toward unsolved mysteries, it remains unyielding. Advances, including radar explorations, tempt glimpses of its elaborate secrets, but the deeper enigma resists. Scientific pledge rests in hope. Sophisticated scans mark paths through which the granite envelope of its treasures may unfurl its silence, answering our searching wills while respecting the twilight these stones eternally echo. The realm of esoteric musing ventures into corridors often unlit by mainstream understanding. Theories propose these stones as artifacts of quantum rituals, technological sorcery centered around harmonizing unseen earth forces and forgotten rites, painted in the shades of lost narratives. Such contemplation muses upon an Egypt entwined with prehistoric civilizations, clinging to the fringes of technological grandeur, an enigma to modern faculties bound to reason. Speculative extrapolations echo theories of celestial alignment and astronomical design, where Egyptian pyramids and temple orientations bear stellar counterparts. Could the Serapeum similarly channel cosmic dialogue, acting as gateways merging earthly pursuits with astral harmonies? Granite's vibrational properties hint at the possibility. Its sarcophagi plausibly designed to communicate with or amplify celestial energies, translating unspoken frequencies across the notes of the universe. Granite's mysticism responds to more than physical stalwartness. Embedded within, crystalline matrices unwittingly commune with spiritual sympathies. Here, believers in the metaphysical ponder the sarcophagi as sanctified vessels for containing and channeling vibrational energies, a philosophical parallel that recalls Egypt's spiritual encyclopedia, foretelling magical sciences or whispers of ancient practice yet obscured. The complexity housed within the sarcophagi challenges the confinement of known technology. While traditional engineering paints a picture of simplicity bearing feats of laborious grace, curiosities propose echoes of lost alchemical truths, quieted only by time's relentless advance. These narratives invite reassessment of ancient prowess, surmising capabilities that may gesture to stranger shores just beyond modern academica's measure. Perhaps drawing parallels with other ancient enigmas, could whispers of shared knowledge thread along far-stretching bonds across millennia? Places like Machu Picchu or Stonehenge share echoes of inhuman precision and painstaking artistry, birthing lore of cultures anonymously intertwined across forgotten chapters. A shared chapter unseen until today, penning subtexts no less riveting. In this solitude of unwritten expressions, the sarcophagi represent a triumphant ambiguity, elemental curiosity captured in stone guardians. They draw the imagination with perennial enthrallment, whispering infinite queries about the nature of wisdom that preceded and eludes unsanctified understanding. Their collective resonance within our inquisitive consciousness remains steadfastly alluring, a near-tangible brush against the arcane chorus of antiquity, within which extraordinary tokens like the Serapeum weave chapters of untold tales through the dance of time and discovery. In the silent sands of Dashur, the bent pyramid rises with an enigmatic grace, a silent storyteller of ancient aspirations and mysteries. This unique pyramid, a testimony to the architectural ingenuity of Egypt's past, diverges from its peers by altering its angle midway, 54 degrees at its base, transitioning to 43 degrees near its peak. This perplexing shift has been the muse for many debates among historians, and architects alike. Some voices in the scholarly choir suggest a practical approach was at play, an ancient response to structural integrity issues that arose during its construction. As if the builders, having reached a precarious height, listened to the whispers of the stone, urging them to adapt, lest the structure succumb to the weight of ambition. Others within the philosophical and metaphysical realms ponder whether this abrupt change embodies a symbolic message from the ancients, possibly reflecting duality, a balance between earth and sky, or a celestial code woven into its very stones. The bent pyramid stands as more than just a technical marvel. Its form conjures images of a mind traversing the realms of earthly constraints to touch the ethereal. It suggests a metaphor for life's unpredictability, a navigation between the material and the divine, urging observers to embrace the journey as much as the destination. Its very shape seems to be in dialogue with the cosmos, confronting us with an artistic rendition of esoteric knowledge, now diffused into the desert winds. The historical backdrop of this majestic structure reveals its builder, Pharaoh Sneferu, whose reign heralded significant advancements in pyramid construction techniques. Under his watchful gaze, the bent pyramid became a key stepping stone towards engineering perfection, acting as an experimental canvas that would lead to the flawless geometries seen in the Grand Pyramids at Giza. It was an age of architectural experimentation, where failure was but a misunderstood form of learning, and each project was a labor of devotion and expansive ambition. At its heart, the pyramid was meant to be Sneferu's eternal resting place, a physical manifestation of the celestial journey upon which his soul was to embark. In modern times, technological advances have allowed us to gaze deeper into the mysteries locked within the bent pyramid's stone shell. Innovations like muon scans and infrared technology have illuminated previously inaccessible chambers, hinting at secrets concealed within. Each revelation from these scans invites new questions and inspires awe at the unseen intricacies of this ancient monument. The fresh insights spark a renewed reverence for ancient engineering and open dialogues about the architect's original intentions, whether they were pragmatic responses to construction challenges or deliberate cosmic correspondences etched into stone. In the labyrinth of theories concerning the bent pyramid's altered slope, a spectrum of interpretations within both the scientific and esoteric worlds emerges. A prominent theory leans towards a pragmatic explanation, suggesting that engineers mid-course modified the angle as a necessity to prevent a catastrophic collapse. Tests have demonstrated the pressures exerted by the original steeper angle might have engendered insurmountable strain, justifying an adaptation that allowed this monumental structure to endure the ravages of time. Conversely, scholars inclined towards metaphysics may argue for a symbolic interpretation, where the pyramid's duality reflects ancient Egyptian philosophies, exploring themes of life and the afterlife, mundane existence juxtaposed against the eternal. Sifting through these diverging thoughts, we find that the bent pyramid speaks to a civilization comfortable in its duality, mixing the known with the mysterious, the earthly with aspirations of celestial harmony. As tangible as its stone surface may feel, what lies beneath hints at the spiritual and existential journeys of its creators. Beyond the historical and structural narratives encapsulated within its geometry are interpretations reflecting life's dual nature. The bent pyramid becomes a stone tapestry, threading notions of transition and transcendence. It embeds within its flattened summit an allegory of human concerns interrupting life's divine flow, an ancient reminder that spiritual search carries as much weight as a pharaoh's vanity. Each stone whispers to those who listen, revealing a dialogue between men and gods, where contingent elements of life forged resilient legacies in lasting fortitude. Sneferu's quest for architectural perfection, as evidenced in this pivotal monument, underscores an era where the pursuit of greatness was expressed through stone. Under his rule, the pyramids became dialogues etched into the landscape, a blend of artistic expression and mathematical precision driving those who heeded his call. In that pursuit, the bent pyramid stands adorned by both visionary foresight and lessons learned along the way, a silent testament to the process of innovation, a circle where aspiration spurs engineering evolution. By exploring the relationship between pyramid designs and ancient cosmology, we encounter the potential for a sublime connection between terrestrial designs and celestial phenomena. The angles and alignments may suggest mystical alignments with constellations and planetary positions observed during equinoxes and solstices. Rather than mere architectural curiosities, these structures become cosmic dialogues in stone, acknowledging the Earth's rhythms and the Egyptians' bond with the stars. Written within these walls are tales of interpretation fraught with challenges. Each step in unraveling the bent pyramid's enigma is met with complex layers of history and culture, wherein even seasoned scholars approach their craft with humility and reverence, knowing much remains hidden. Such inquiries invite us to regard the pyramid as an ancient repository of forgotten wisdom, awaiting rediscovery through modern lenses. When comparing the bent pyramid to other grand structures of its time, one witnesses the narrative arc of Egypt's architectural prowess evolving through experimentation and adaptation. From the step pyramid to Sneferu's later accomplishments, the physical transitions in design reflect philosophical transformations, a narrative of ambition tempered by the wisdom of experience. The interconnectedness of innovation and tradition crafts a story as resilient as the pyramids themselves, imparting lessons on flexibility within form. In the face of erosion and time's relentless passage, efforts to preserve the bent pyramid aim to honor its legacy for generations to come. Modern preservation techniques act as stewards of the past, blending contemporary innovation with authenticity. Each restoration effort seeks to maintain the historical integrity of the monument, a reminder of Egypt's indelible imprint on human history, poised between yesterday's vision and tomorrow's potential. The spectral presence of Pharaoh Sneferu haunts the bent pyramid, an emblem not just of a sovereign's dream, but of ancient Egypt's spirit and enterprise. His ventures transcend mere mortuary aspirations. They reflect the sweep of a culture reaching for eternity through innovation and excellence. Sneferu's influence permeates beyond stone, echoing throughout history as inspiration for the pyramids of Giza and other majestic testaments to human drive. Examining the bent pyramid through interdisciplinary lenses enriches its story, illuminating not just an ancient civilization's engineering feats, but also their cosmic aspirations and hidden narratives. Whether through mathematical precision, metaphysical speculations, or cultural traditions, the pyramid invites scholars to revel in a synthesis of knowledge transcending time. It becomes more than a relic. It emerges as a symbol of shared human curiosity, echoing through fields of science and history alike. The bent pyramid's majesty echoes further beyond academia, into folklore and legend, enchanting hearts and minds with tales of magical powers and rituals. Imaginative stories offer glimpses of ancient magic lingering at the edges of our understanding, whispering secrets entertained by both mystics and dreamers throughout history. Such tales enrich the historical tapestry, allowing the pyramid to inspire continual marvel and wonder. Within the very stones rests the symbolism chosen by artists and architects alike. From limestone to granite, each material selection reverberates with meaning beyond physical form, a metaphor for the immutable truths of life, the bonds between earth and spirit. As stones layer upon one another, they silently testify to the civilization's enduring spirit, capturing aspirations cast in an age when earthbound monuments sought harmonious dialogue with the heavens. A visit to this ancient site unravels a palpable energy, a mystery intertwined with presence, suggesting beneath its surface lies something more than meets the eye. Despite modern rationality, the pyramid stands as a vessel of unknowable depth, bridging the silent mystiques of the past with contemporary quests for understanding, inviting seekers and skeptics alike to ponder the unfathomable. Through the passage of time, one recognizes the metamorphosis of symbolic interpretations applied to the bent pyramid's form and function. What was once an architectural novelty has morphed through generations into a symbol of profound depth, reflecting the evolving fascination with Egypt's enigmatic culture. Each era extracts its own meaning from its stories etched in stone, perpetuating the pyramid as a canvas upon which each age draws anew its insights and revelations. Appearance, too, can deceive, as the pyramid's unusual angles have been seen as both architectural pitfalls and steps toward triumph. The adaptive journey guided by error and innovation, seamlessly winding through moments of challenge and ingenuity, the pyramid ultimately showcases a civilization's beauty found within resilience, a timeless bridge between failure and grand discovery. The bent pyramid stands at the intersection of earthly and cosmic, an architectural marvel embedding whispers of the universe within its foundations. It mirrors the stars, not just in its structure, but in cultural significance, an earthly canvas evoking universal truths. It captures the imagination bound to the ancient celestial pursuits, drawing together cosmic rhythms into the realm of human endeavor, resonating still amidst an unbroken symphony of time. Though lacking overt inscriptions, the bent pyramid's narrative hides its language in subtleties, a silent guardian of messages shaped through angles and forms. In the void between walls, the reflective minds seek an intrinsic art that transcends visible lines, seeking to synthesize thought into stone. In its serene silence, it cherishes secrets passed down through centuries, breathing life into ancient times. Upon entering its confines, one discovers the enigmatic play of sound in sacred spaces. The resonance seeps through corridors, interweaving notes from faint echoes into spiritual tapestries, enriching the emotional fabric of exploration. Harmonic mysteries blend with the history of imagination, offering layers of contemplation through its soundscapes, deeply entwined with past whispers echoing beyond the static silence of the stone. Mathematical ingenuity permeates throughout, a testament to the prowess of the builders who imbued structure with the elegance of numbers. Numerical relationships reveal cosmic echoes translated into the tangible form of the pyramid. Observers draw meaning from these sacred alignments, where mathematical brilliance transforms stone into a beacon of timeless wisdom. And so, to the future, the preservation of this majestic edifice embodies the commitment to sustaining its story against the tide of time. Through concerted endeavor, the bent pyramid becomes a living mantra, preserving history for the eager embrace of those who follow. The restorers and scholars are custodians, ensuring the continuous thread from past to present, casting the bent pyramid as a living testament to humankind's eternal journey between dream and reality. In the heart of the Giza Plateau, the enigmatic granite blocks stand testament to an ancient world's architectural prowess. Each stone, an emblem of enduring strength and beauty, whispers secrets of the past and beckons us to ponder the impossibility of its existence in such a bygone era. Traditional narratives tell us that copper chisels were the tools of choice, yet the idea that these humble instruments carved through granite's rigid facade seems to defy logic and reason. Thus arises a murmur in the shadows of mainstream history, a whisper insisting upon alternative explanations, perhaps mystical, perhaps grounded in realities we've yet to uncover. Upon these stones, spiral grooves snake around in a precision that startles the imagination. How did craftspeople of an age long past leave behind evidence of drilling techniques that speak of high velocity and deft control? Such marks are haunting in their consistency, provoking a query into whether the ancients had uncovered methods unknown to us or inherited wisdom from civilizations veiled by the sands of time. Perhaps in this place, where the boundaries of myth, unraveling histories, and fledgling science blur, a story of cultures intertwined persists beyond the obvious, waiting for discerning hearts to hear. Examining these grooves, we confront the inexplicable precision etched into granite's unforgiving face, a complexity difficult to reconcile with the Bronze Age's known capabilities. Those consistent intervals demand answers outside the realm of accepted historical timelines. As modern minds engage with this mystery, obligated to reevaluate, they gravitate towards narratives of lost technologies and potential exchanges with beings or civilizations forgotten to time's inexorable march, inviting all who dare to unravel these artifacts of astonishing mastery. Across the spans of our understanding, we then attend closely to copper's limitations, how it labors with softer stones while granite remains unconquerable. How did those ancient artisans achieve such harmony in stone fitting, reflecting precision beyond expectation? The narrative unwinds here, inviting us to consider tools yet to be recovered in physical form, or perhaps ghostly remnants of ancient wisdom, echoing down through millennia in whispers and shadows, informing us of the trials and triumphs of forgotten builders' ingenuity. They challenge us still, from beneath the weight of stones deeply rooted in their primeval resting places. Fringe theories swirl around the edges of this mystery, breathing life into stories of Atlantis or Lemuria, those legendary lands that might yet have contributed to Egypt's achievements. While many turn a skeptical eye, dismissing these theories as mere flights of fancy, they suggest our perspectives remain narrow and our inquiries limited, pushing us to widen our gaze to include the improbable and impossible. Might the intricacy of Giza's stonework serve as testimony to an earlier epoch of human greatness, lost, yet leaving behind traces within the stones? The granite cores, precious samples from the Giza Plateau, appear as magical tomes inscribed with a forgotten narrative. Their content, the spiral grooves, serves as solemn witnesses to forgotten feats, imploring modern scholars to glean insight therefrom, however unconventional the path. Each groove decoded encloses glimpses into that deep well of history, which remains untapped yet brimming with potential and possibility. It is to this well we are drawn, urged to hone both curiosity and heightened awareness, guided by the desire to unearth the techniques cloaked beneath granite's skin. This quest inevitably seeks to test the historical claims long entrenched, challenging our understanding of what once was with what might have been. Conventional history holds that only copper tools pervaded Egyptian workshops, wielded with simple force and tenacity. Yet the chasm between what is postulated and what is preserved in stone invites scrutiny, compelling us towards revisions. Within these stones, we find provocations inviting us to question, to consider, mapping history anew as if hearing a melody long forgotten and finally comprehending the song. An additional allure crystallizes around quartz, the inimitable crystals embedded within the granite, known today for their piezoelectric potential. What use might this have served those ancient hands shaping the pyramid's destiny? Was there some ancient practice of channeling energies that remain obscured by the passage of time? These stones beg us to entertain the thought of unknown energies, perhaps tapping into realms supramaterial, where history and speculation intermingle in their undying dance. Scientific investigation lends further revelations, beckoning modern instruments to study materials composition with unprecedented depth. Through electron microscopes, beams of insight pierce the stony veil, whispering clues about ancient builders' intentions and methods. Do these analyses alter or reaffirm our histories? Each fragment explored opens a conduit to a world unseen, weaving a new layering into the fabric of time, transforming our understanding of what might have animated the ancients who conceived these grand designs. Yet herein, granite does not solely reside within our understanding of geology or toolwork, but rather holds a sanctified place within cultural and spiritual realms. What did these stones symbolize in their hardness and purity to the ancient masons who selected them? Their unyielding presence speaks of permanence, both of spiritual journeys envisaged and enduring monuments crafted. Through these, stones serve not only as supports of monumental architectures, but also as vessels through which cosmic and spiritual designs seep into the temporal world. The propagation of ancient ideas evokes ambition and an interconnected web of intellects stretching across the sands and seas. Might ancient Egypt have reached outward, pulling understanding from neighboring cultures, rivers of shared ingenuity raining down, merging and forming unprecedented creations? Through stonework's mysteries, these networks illuminate, ultimately challenging the boundaries of isolated precedents, teasing forth the idea of an ancient world vibrant with exchange, untouched by the physical constraints we now impose in retrospection. In considering the pyramids, attention must then pivot to the minds behind them, the enigmatic architects and laborers who, together, crafted narratives written in stone. Their intellectual frameworks remain lost, seemingly insubstantial compared to the weight of granite's truths. And yet, imagining their perspectives allows us entry into an ancient educational system, one that wove together knowledge of stone and celestial bodies with human aspiration into both an art form and a sacred charge. The line between tangible evidence and theory in such exploration is tenuous. We are tasked with navigating uncertain waters, where truth is interwoven with legends that grow vivid with each telling. As the dance between fact and fiction ebbs, it beckons us into deeper inquiry, resonating within us and sparking contemplation. Granite's mysteries still evoke whispers audible to those who dare to listen, urging us to peel back layers and embrace what may well lie hidden just beyond reach, yet undeniably ensconced within great stone monuments. Our journey then winds on, following lines set down by those ancient architects, echoes of achievements that ripple through time into our present endeavors. These stones, Giza's giants, inspire new generations with innovative designs framed within sustainable practices, as visions once made manifest still provoke examination and gratitude. Ancient ingenuity transcends age, ideas of old rekindling in new forms, aspirations flickering into life as onlookers dream anew beneath an enduring sun. Here, stone kisses history, and within each touch, vibrations of wisdom unfurl, incompletely deciphered. The world of these ancients, cast through inquiry thrice over, delivers transformative reflections, offering harmonies only heard where mystery and knowledge converge. Thus, granite bears testimony not solely to ancient skill, but to the enduring power of inquiry, memory, and aspiration to bind together the ages. Time and again, stones serve as archives. They mute historians, providing the most indelible records of dreams, visions, and dedication. Without inscription, they straddle worlds, coherent yet remaining tantalizingly unfinished for those who seek their stories. Emulating delicate pages, they open up worlds unfolding into concepts only hinted at, histories narrated in perpetual silence, save for whispers across time. Every figure carved upon Giza's monumental face ties story to stone, an enigmatic language imbued with a message, calling forth exploration of hidden narratives. Through this unseen language, past masters encoded vestiges of actions and beliefs, symbols coloring the world with nuances waiting for ears inclined toward ancient truths. Our engagement with these tales becomes a dialogue, spun intimately between tangible and transcendental, nurturing reflections passed through stone's stoic heart. In craftsmanship, the pyramids hold challenges of anonymity and recognition, recounting historical legacies underlayered within the stones as living tapestries. They're the artisans' femmes, their silent whispers forming bridge and compass, guiding quests and ancestral whispers. Honor them, each cut a signature through permanence, a remarkable heritage enduring amid time's embrace. Around these expressions within stone, mysteries arise, astronomy blending harmonic alignments into dimensional landscapes, questioning designs writ by ancient architects exploring connections across stellar manifestations. Cosmic dialogue shaped by those who walked the sands of time prompts us to contemplate whether these alignments ushered divine inspiration into practicality, life's celestial blueprint etched momentarily within the earth. Guardians of time, these granite blocks resonate with unfinished notes crafted from stillness, hints entrapped within their heart. Their dissonance seeps slowly through ancient joints, as if awaiting final understanding, concealing agendas we are not yet ready to discern. An astonishing blend of enchantment and practicality emboldens the mystical against steadfast reality, where plausible spectral visions spark industry and endeavor. Giza's stones refract unseen energies reserved for those daring liberation from convention, navigating reality and illuminating possibilities of deeper comprehension. Motivated by eternity's embrace, Giza's builders honed unyielding techniques, sculpting permanence's alchemy illustrated by those unsurpassed stones drawn from history's quarries. Scientific precision and hallowed philosophy intermingle as concepts harnessed, probing vistas of future perches that grew into monuments and more. Their enduring tranquility whispers of immortal visions born of lore and intellect. Reviving ancient methods becomes art's embrace, a dance with time orchestrating revival between epochs past and yet to come. Giza's cues offer realizations intersecting wisdom, bridging retrospective wisdom with projections of visionary horizons. Experimentation hands our civilization a palette of roots meeting futures inspired forth. As artisans revel in ancient treatises, future narratives rise grounded in patience and precision. The avenues through ancient masters broaden against today's ethical currents, nurturing design's continuum derived from sustained inspiration, fueling creative cycles, an inexhaustible wellspring. Listening intently to granite's rhythm, time's echoes interweave whispered tones resonating with emerging truths concealed beneath stone's patina. Interpretations unfurl alongside spirals coursing through seamless continua bridging epoch's breath, the stone's melodies reverberating across eternity. Gathering perspectives into a closing circle, these sentinels invite re-evaluation, weaving destiny shared within vast celestial charts, expanding beyond horizons mapped under cosmic eyes. As stone mirrors cosmic deeps, it whispers back, a blissful, sage dance extending cultivated lines anticipated by space and time conjoined. Thus, amidst monolithic grandeur, secrets unfold, joining life in its cryptic journey across ages, speaking softly of what humanity once knew and what it may rediscover. In the tranquil stillness of the Egyptian desert, the Great Pyramid stands as a silent sentinel, its apex once adorned by the enigmatic pyramidion, now vanished into the whispers of history. This capstone, a keystone of profound significance, remains absent, leaving endless room for speculation and mystery. Rumors and musings about its disappearance swirl like the desert wind. Was it once gilded in gold, its gleam irresistible to those whose avarice compelled them to plunder its precious surface? Or did the capstone vanish with the sands of time, not merely by theft, but through decay? This enigmatic loss serves as an invitation to ponder deeper, through the sands and silence of the ancients, on the purpose and sacred symbolism this piece once held. In the heart of Egyptian culture, the pyramidion was not simply the final stone atop the pyramid. It was the Benben stone, an earthly manifestation of creation and divine harmony, intimating a whisper between the celestial and terrestrial realms. Its absence invites us to stray into realms of the metaphysical, urging an exploration into whether this apex was at one time a conduit between earth and the divine, a sacred touchstone binding the mortal with the infinite. With wonder, we delve into the possibility that this missing piece was an intentional enigma left by the ancients as a silent message, waiting patiently through millennia of silence for our curiosity to decipher its divine narratives. As we turn our gaze to the Giza Plateau, we find ourselves witnessing a marvel of ancient astronomical precision. The alignment of the pyramids with Orion's belt resounds with too perfect an echo to be dismissed as mere coincidence. This startling symmetry invites us to ponder whether these stone monuments were interwoven with a tapestry of cosmic design, a celestial choreography deliberately crafted to reflect the divine order viewed through the eyes of those ancient architects. In their creation, the stars themselves become a living element of the pyramid's design, forming a cosmic mirror of the heavens upon the earth. The celestial alignment reverberates with possibilities, suggesting religious or ceremonial purposes hidden in the cycles of cosmos, speaking of harmony and resonance between the ancients' architectural accomplishments and the cosmic dance of time. It is here that we are drawn deeper into the mystery, contemplating the spiritual significance the pyramidion extended beyond stone into the ancient Egyptian ethos. Often aligning it with Ra, the radiant sun deity, the capstone was a radiant beacon capturing the sun's spirit, cascades of sunlight pouring down the pyramid in a dance of splendor. It was a powerful conduit connecting the earth and the ethereal, a symbol of divine ordination perched at the summit of human endeavor. Within its gleaming edges, it held not just architectural importance, but a spiritual heartbeat that set the tone for divine ceremonial rhythms, guiding souls in their posthumous journey toward eternity. Beyond its spiritual connection, the architectural harmony reveals the intertwining of earthly and celestial mechanics within initiatives to encapsulate cosmic wisdom in stone. Harmoniously blending symmetry and shifts reflect the pyramid as more than an architectural triumph, but as an expression of the undercurrents of cosmic order infused into their constructions. Pyramids physically aligned with the heavens, not merely reflecting reverence, but aiding timekeeping, synchronizing with celestial shifts, reinforcing humans' cosmic engagement within these stones of enlightenment. These echoes from the past urge us to muse upon the ancients' ability to synchronize their lives with the divine rhythm traced in the heavens, to contemplate lessons of unity visible in every skyward glance. The absence of the pyramidion stirs theories steeped in historical myth and modern curiosity. Was it looted for its golden resplendence? Did the embrace of time quietly steal it away, evaporating it into the annals of decay? Each theory entices, each narrative suggesting alternative fates, urging us to reflect on the ancient epochs where ceremonies and cosmic events might have orchestrated its removal as part of sacred rites or alignment celebrations, a consumptive rite echoed in the heavens. In this absence, we are drawn into the interplay of traditional interpretations with mysteries ever lingering, poised between wonder and the unseen, stimulating a deep philosophical challenge. Turning our eyes skyward, we are returned once more to humanity's ancestral observatories, the pyramids which stood not only as monuments to human ingenuity, but as mirrors reflecting celestial truths. Their alignment with Orion conveys astronomical expertise, reaching beyond mere motions of the stars into an understanding invisible to many even today. Engaging these grand structures as part of a greater narrative unfolds in layers of celestial thought woven into stone. Their powerful role in timekeeping amid celestial negotiations highlights cycles through monumental expressions, promoting divine connection through the celestial center. We find this symmetry woven into myths, wherein Orion stands as a constellation revered in Egyptian lore, paralleling Osiris, the keeper of resurrection. Orion's starry path mirrored Osiris's cyclical journey in the cosmos, an ethos of rebirth traced in the heavens, familiar legends linked to celestial rhythms sustaining life through narratives unfolding nightly. Intertwined with tales of divine afterlife, such astronomical connectivity not only shaped architectural symmetry, but augmented ethereal connections capturing humanity's endless search for cycle and rebirth through stone. The fitting of the pyramids amongst myths extends beyond tangible symmetry, etched in stone, embodying mortuary practices integral to spiritual ascent, where these structures formed celestial pathways guiding souls through night and starry domain toward their eternal awakening. Reflecting upon these mythologies, we glimpse echoes of sacred spaces harboring religious intent and facilitating journeys through cosmic ether, positioning pyramids among sacred celestial map points guiding the soul's whereabouts, enabling transcendence beyond earthly bonds through hallways lined in stellar significance. This interconnectedness thrived through Egypt's embrace of stars, each pyramid contributing a chapter to its complex cosmological manuscript. At Egypt's cultural core was a fervent expression of divine synchronicity. Stakes inserted within these stone forms singled out elements of cosmic inflection, participating in cycles reflected symbolically in physicality and spirituality. They assumed roles of bridging terrestrial ritual with celestial progression, creating antiquities potent as stairs to heaven, coalescing mayat, executed within their sprawling confines. Sacred geometry extends beyond structural stability, It engages an arcane dialogue inviting profound absorption of mystical meanings buried within the pyramid's angles and harmonious proportions. As spiritual teachers cloaked in stone, their geometry became keys to unlocking dimensions unseen yet felt visibly through timescapes, navigating understanding between realms, inspiring philosophical contemplation. The angles embark beyond constraint, drafting lessons in proportions capacity as sacred script, where mathematics converts architectural wonder into symbols resonating like whispered equations in the soul. Theories venturing into cosmic realms seek extraterrestrial interaction as an explanation for seemingly impossible construction triumphs of these monumental wonders, conjectures blending spiritual narrative and divine imagination. These musings suggest cosmic connections, predating common knowledge and suggesting alien artisans or celestial influence inspiring pyramid formation, a spiritual handshake crossing galaxy. Such proposals engender endless fascination while prompting questions of origin reaching beyond perceived chronology into infinite possibility within celestial collaboration. Adding layers upon mystery, theories further propose pyramids as massive energy resonators, structuring geometry as mediums, harnessing universal forces paralleling cryptic knowledge reflected in sacredly attuned dimensions. Statuettes aligned supracosmically, wove at the heart of aligned ceremonies, resonated with esoteric energy divine provinces mirrored elsewhere. These dialogues ignite mythical reverberations, while illuminating harmonious exploration into hidden teachings, instructing cosmic order's branches through pyramidal insights synthesized at cosmic gateways. Lost technologies invite speculative union between ancient insight and geometric Faust, as many ponder the privileged technologies possibly contributing within legendary construction stages. Investigations ponder whether dimensions beyond contemporary grasp enabled precision-driven results transcending logical comprehension. Such modern reflection compels revisiting of ancient cultures' capabilities and suggests potential rediscovery awaiting revelation, perhaps mirroring our ancestors' odyssey within these enigmas, hiding timelines defied by present conventional understanding. Striding once more amid Egypt's metatextual expanse, pyramids reveal their envisioned role as a harmonic fusion with universe's core. Conservative representations stitching humanity within a loft emotion consciousness permeating through extensive universe. Aligned across spatial divide, they symbolize future domains in dialogue, where intention fuses mirrors brushing creations, where humanity hasn't just inhabited existence, but believed moving elements shared metic orbits guided beyond mortal passage. Captivating imaginations breaches this apex where reality transmutes into higher inquiries through metaphysical lenses, asking whether it's plausible these structures transcend roles while grasping matters of spirit within manifestation. Cosmic portalization, inviting recursive vibrancy beyond tangible realism via spiritual resonance. Embracing sacred spaces within geometry's juncture transforms understanding of material purpose while expressing harmonious vibrancy unfurling within pyramids beyond disciplinary compartments. These enchanting forms stand reverberating metaphysical incantations, activating transmissions of equilibrium across ethereal echo chambers, solid footing, propelling souls transcending daily mundane, where our own awareness rises, capturing interconnected cosmos and collective trajectory, whispering deep intuitive understanding towards humanity's infinite ancient story. A saga roostered upon resonance and contemplation lamp, seated amidst unending symphony of night skies soundtrack narrating deeds contradict earthly decline. choreographing gradual arcanus surpassed restrictive, hence formidable extraterrestrial precepts. Pyramids, sage-crafted promises, juxtapose understanding unbounded existence, transfiguring pages within captured time rather than written truths, inviting scrutiny. Observed closely, learning waits behind storied faces, vibrant teaching trapped between history's manifold layers, desiring institution tracking echoes, holding Mithrand beyond waves till eternal prism at center, assuring authentic essence alignment portrays these dignified markers while reshaping wonders into cosmological concord. Upon the warm sands of Egypt, near the mighty Giza Plateau, lies a relic of uncertain years known as the inventory stela. This ancient limestone slab, inscribed with hieroglyphics that breathe tales of time-worn Egypt, was unearthed in the early whispers of the 19th century. Found slumbering by the Great Sphinx, the stela holds stories that challenge the conventional recordings of Egyptian history, bringing forth an intriguing narrative that might reshape the chronology of the ancient world. In the sacred engravings, Pharaoh Khufu is found, acknowledging a sphinx that stood long before his reign. This revelation dances against the steadfast understanding that Khafra, Khufu's descendant, was its creator. Such a divergence in the timeline inspires contemplation beyond the sanctioned corridors of Egyptology. The stela whispers a tale of ancient restoration, where Khufu lovingly tended to a monument already ancient in its time. The story hints, perhaps, at a civilization predating even the pharaohs, shrouded in the mists of prehistory. Auguste Mariette, a pioneering soul in the study of Egypt, stumbled upon the stela during his expansive digs at Giza in the mid-19th century. Upon its discovery, the stela's words stirred the winds of curiosity, linking an older sphinx within its narrative to the vast, mystical monument itself. Scholars began to wonder, is the stela, with its tales, a genuine echo of the past, or a later creation to embellish the lineage of rulers? The skepticism persists like a shadow, yet to be lifted fully. Embedded within the ancient text are stories of Khufu's encounters with deities and temples. It speaks of the temple of Isis and how Khufu, guided by dreams woven from divine cloth, finds himself restoring what once had been magnificent. The text has been a puzzle, with translations differing like dance partners stepping through different tunes. Some interpretations hint at an ancient sacred landscape already in need for tender care during Khufu's time, perhaps signaling a civilization that had breathed its last well before the pharaoh's undertakings began. Challenging the long-held narratives of the past, this stela seeks to weave a different tapestry. If the Sphinx predates Khufu, are we to reconsider our thoughts on the origins of this ancient world, where advanced knowledge and accomplishments cascade like silent specters through the pages of time? Might we behold the innovations of earlier civilizations through Egypt's majestic structures, once seen solely as the fruits of its pharaohs? Some daring minds suggest the Sphinx becomes a marker left by a lost civilization, a testament to the wisdom and artistry of those who traversed before recorded history's official start. Curious souls have wandered into possibilities of a world older than Egypt's shadows, hinted at through the enigmatic language of the inventory stela. Archaeological whispers tell of weathered stones bearing the marks of ancient storms, layers of water erosion painting a tale of Egypt's wet, fertile past. Such hints of water dance seductively with the narrative carved on the stela, suggesting an existence in earlier, wetter epochs. This dual narrative of inscription and erosion bids us contemplate a world where climate and time were co-creators in the generations' passage, winding through and shaping the cradle of Egypt as we understand it. These traces offer humility as we acknowledge humanity's adaptability and evolution amidst nature's shifting heart. In its flesh of stone and shadow, the Sphinx draws meanings transcending its physicality, a symbol of transformation from mere monument to a mystical talisman of Egypt's spirited history. Its form, a harmonious marriage of human intellect and lion strength, speaks of mortal aspirations and divine touch. The Sphinx's ancient gaze welcomes stories of spirituality, a profound whisper of human longing for understanding and connection to the stars above. In cosmic dramas, the Sphinx may find its role, its alignments echoing an awareness bridging earthly endeavors with celestial ascendancy. Perhaps it nodded at the stars, the constellation Leo framing its presence in the firmament of Egypt's skyward story. Across the millennia, the Sphinx stood vigil, silent witness to the divine narratives as the sky's wheel turned. Yet, should the inventory stela be, indeed, mythic recollection rather than cold historical record, its narrative still enriches the Sphinx's eternal mystery. Like leaves within an oral tradition transformed into written prose, such narratives bring forth continuity, bridging dynastic lines and divine legacies. Myth interweaves with reality, from reverence of continuity to the genius of humanity, crafting tales to preserve not only power but purpose. Beside the Sphinx, laying amidst the sands, rests a temple complex, an echo of a world where the divine and concrete intermingled. Here, cycles of restoration and reverence played out, seamlessly connecting sacred storytelling with the tangible forms of megalithic majesty. This space demands reflection, and the tied tale between it and the inventory, Stella asks, could these remnants shape a vision of an interconnected sacred world bound through space and time? Interwoven narratives emerge, revealing a tale not solely of diplomatic thrones, but of artists plying the mysteries of their world into the sinews of stone. Through the ages, craftsmanship became a form of devotion, inspiring would-be seekers drawn by the stela's words to ponder, who sculpted this mysterious symbol? The tale captures the weight of artisans and visionaries who sculpted life's essence into the Sphinx's stoic countenance. In the quiet shadows of narrative prose, where today's scholars interpret, the lines of spirituality within the stela extend into the broader Egyptian cosmos. The interconnectivity of divine narratives ties spiritual beliefs to cosmic order, where philosophy melds with existential awareness and bids the observant to see humanity as children of stars and time. An esoteric reading of the Sphinx and stela stirs the mind to traverse the mystery beyond legend, expanding the conscious intellect to glean ancient discernment from carved hieroglyphs. The inventory. Stela serves not merely as parchment of the past, but as a testament to Egypt's eternal legacy, a legacy forming a connective thread between humanity past and present. The Sphinx casts its gaze not only upon Egypt's golden sands, but over an accumulative journey shared across the epochs. Through these times, societal recognition of these relics rejuvenates a tradition of exploration and philosophical inquiry. In this modern era, scholars gather round the echoes produced by such relics. Meaningful debate ensues, breathing life into the ancient past and enriching academia's broader stage. Discussion transforms understanding, as each articulation carves a fresher appreciation of old truths, tracking shifts in meaning against wider timelines. Among sands and starlight, the inventory stela and the Sphinx become testaments to constant inquiry and scholarship, The familiar embrace the stela poses to the curious highlights material history and broader cultural discourse. Its continuation through time aligns with human attraction to the storied legacy, to touch the narrative of past existence, even as chronicles drift into time's flowing river. The echoes of the Sphinx and the stela whisper aloud truths undaunted, casting calls to all ages. Drawn together, they symbolize more than living stone. They enshrine a spirit and wisdom echoing through Egypt, engaging the universe beyond. Onlookers, in reflection, seek answers and are yet challenged anew by the mysteries of time and the ethos therein. Humanity's journey mirrors the Sphinx's immutable gaze, a dialogue of ages past maintained through current engagements with an everlasting mystique. The Israelite recognition of this cultural fabric binds within itself the practiced hands of artisans sought centuries ago and the aspirations of today's questing spirits. Through it all, timeless spiritual inclinations beckon the human soul to the Ka and Ba of Egypt's dream mythos, owning its multifaceted inheritance, thriving in the language spun upon the stela's surface. Narratives fuse, ideals flow past words, as each curve and glyph herald of divine connection and permissible transformation. Within its storied vault, the Sphinx upholds fidelity to this profound embrace with the celestial heavens. As perspectives ever change, the inventory, stela endures through adjustment within the shifting sands of academic reverence. Each page turned, where knowledge begets knowledge, affirms the recognition of shared scholarly ambition toward truth, echoing the whispering sands. The stela's legacy, recreated, sustains the path of vitally engaging cultivation, a beacon in the scholarly quest for unraveling the sacred truths within Egypt's historic depths. Preserving these narratives safeguards against the ravages of time, providing future apertures for perceiving Egypt anew. In these explorations, the multi-layered chronicles of the Sphinx and the inventory stela stand vigilant, waiting for each revelation spanning lifetimes unmeasurable. They keep watch over knowledge, offering undiscovered wisdom to those who dare to cross the threshold of inquiry into the wellspring of ancient Egypt's storied past and enduring foresight. While the Sphinx resides as monumental embodiment of time's limitless lifespan, it and the inventory, stela, remain as potent symbols, transcending their immediate contexts. They evoke an eternal dialogue extending spindle-legged across civilizations, casting connections into modernity ever evolving. Rooted within its paradox of presence and mystery, it personifies the quest of ages, harmonizing ancient craft with ever-forming minds. Together, they remain unfaltering in spiritual kinship, endowing the seeker toward eternal truths held tightly between the delicate constraints of dream and reality. The echo of the ancients' whispered voice amidst the boundless sands of the present day. Nestled amidst Egypt's desert landscape, Zawiat el-Aryan stands enigmatic, overshadowed by the grandeur of neighboring sites like Giza and Saqqara. Yet its mysteries unfurl silently, waiting to be revealed under the curious gaze of modern explorers. This site, poised between Giza and Abusir, holds within its bounds pyramid complexes, shadowed by the whispers of unfinished narratives and the weight of restricted access. Its name doesn't frequently grace the scholarly annals that celebrate Egypt's ancient achievements, but its story, though untold, echoes with the depth of legends yet unraveled. In the dance of time and architecture, Zawiat el-Aryan captures a moment where ambition met an untenable halt, where dreams of grand construction were carved, but never completed. It remains a symphony frozen mid-note, its main feature, a vast, unfinished pit, serving as both a bold statement and a muted enigma. This pit, roughly 200 feet on each side, descends into the earth with the precision of a master sculptor's unfinished work. It demands more than a casual glance. It begs for a contemplation of its silence, a meditation on its mysteries. Without the usual hieroglyphic scripts to guide understanding, the pit remains a mystery untouched by the narratives that adorn Egypt's other ancient structures. The place itself speaks of a time aligned with the Old Kingdom, as pyramid construction neared its zenith, and Egypt thrived under the rule of pharaohs whose dreams pierced both earth and sky. The name Nebka rises from the depths of history as a potential architect of this site. Yet, Nebka remains a shadowy figure, wrapped in uncertainty, a pharaoh whose historic ties are debated, whose footprints seem both evident and elusive within Egypt's illustrious lineage. Did the socio-political tremors of his reign force the abandonment of Zayat el-Aryan? Was it a shortage of resources, a shift in power, or a catastrophic event that stopped the progression of labor? The echoes of its unfinished story speak subtly of the ambitions of builders and the cultural transformations of an era long gone. Though its foundations are stark and silent, Zayat el-Aryan may not have been conceived purely as a monument of stone. In an age where architecture and spirituality were woven into a single tapestry, it could also have been designed as a spiritual anchor, a beacon mirroring the Egyptians' preoccupation with cosmic and ideological order. Its alignment and its positioning amidst other celestial structures hint at a harmony sought with the stars, a reflection of humanity's ancient desire to touch the eternal. Was it meant as a grand pyramid, a tomb, or something more metaphysical? The site stands with arms open to interpretation, a vessel for the spiritual musings of the inquisitive mind. Decades ago, the Italian archaeologist Alessandro Barsanti traced the shadows of this site. His explorations were the torch which illuminated the path to Zayat el-Aryan's enigmatic pit, and the remnants of what might have been temples, suggesting connections to the era of pyramid builders. Yet Barsanti's torch flickered out, his work leaving many stones unturned. The military now stands guard over this land, wrapped in its own secrecy, restricting the tools of modern archaeology, ground-penetrating radars and remote sensing, from uncovering Zayat el-Aryan's remaining secrets. Speculation and theory embrace in ethereal dance around this pit. Was it the foundation for the Pyramid of Nebka, or a ceremonial space awaiting life's rituals? Theories abound, whispering of a broader cosmic or ceremonial purpose, each idea adding a layer to its hypnotizing allure. It inspires dreams of an Egypt connected to a lost civilization, an ancient people whose technology and knowledge were bequeathed to the pharaohs. And this inspires the question: could Zayat el-Aryan be a testament to an advanced civilization whose influence once profoundly touched Egyptian soil? The identity of Zayat el-Aryan's creator lingers like an afterimage of greatness that almost was. Did Nebka envision a grand pyramid like those of Djoser and Snefru, only to falter at the dawn of progress? Nebka's reign, drifting between Egypt's 3rd and 4th dynasties, mirrors the uncertainties of its unfinished landmark. His dream for Zayat el-Aryan is brushed against the canvas of history, a transitional tale of promise arrested mid-flight. Blocked by military control and cloaked in mystery, the site's access is stifled, its explorations thwarted by geopolitical realities and environmental challenges. Yet, as the sun casts shadows upon its depths, Zayat el-Aryan invites an interdisciplinary understanding where geology, anthropology, and even astrology might coalesce to unravel the full story. If access were granted, modern technologies could penetrate its core and illuminate the paths of history, lifting the veil shrouding this unfinished symphony of stone. Artistic expressions and symbolic endeavors whisper faintly around Zawiat el-Aryan, like memories of stories once told. Its lines may echo motifs of divine order found elsewhere in Egyptian art. Though absent of inscribed tales, Zawiat el-Aryan could yet illustrate a relationship between monumentality and celestial narrative, aligning humanity's aspirations with those of the heavens above. Legends drift upon the winds that scrub the desert's surface, oral histories passed down through generations filling the gaps left by abbreviated excavations. Unfettered by evidence, these stories paint a rich cultural tableau, offering a glimpse into the minds of those who dwelt amidst this great mystery. Each anecdote handed down is a lens bringing Zawiat el-Aryan into sharper focus, a testament to the potency of storytelling in preserving history. As we ponder its connection to lost civilizations, the mere thought elevates Zawiat el-Aryan beyond its physical reality to a speculative plane where the boundaries of time blur. It becomes more than a mere archaeological site. It transforms into a mythical bridge that perhaps spans epochs lost to human memory. Was it guided by unknown hands, crafting with precision tools long since vanished, or ideologies unchronicled? These speculative whispers provide depth to the pit's silence, giving life to a narrative of lost epochs and spectral legacies embedded in the undulating sands. Depth, both physical and symbolic, stands as a gateway to speculation and interpretation. Does the site represent an entrance to the underworld, a convergence point for the metaphysical and the corporeal? In ancient cultures, depth often symbolized a sacred journey between worlds, an echo of a culture enthralled with transitions into the afterlife. Within this silence-imbued pit lies the potential for endless interpretations, standing as a revered site for spiritual seekers and introspective travelers who embrace the possibilities hidden beneath its stony depths. Zawiat el-Aryan's half-carved visage speaks to challenges that transcend the technological to the political and environmental. The scale of its abandonment might hint at the enormity of these hurdles, or perhaps reflect an obstacle beyond the comprehension of its builders. Even as burgeoning new theories emerge, pushing against conventional boundaries, the site stands timeless, urging consideration of ancient capabilities stretched to their utmost. At the heart of this place, as in so many of Egypt's ancient wonders, lies the interplay between spirituality and engineering. These feats of stone and star align not only earthly ambition, but ethereal curiosity. Without the visible decorations familiar to other sites, the mind must retrace the forms and symbols, imagining their resonance with ancient parallels. A recreated symbolism breathes through the fractured stones, suggesting meanings that play across history like shadows on the desert floor. The mysteries of Zawiat el-Aryan demand a resolution, a place within Egypt's monumental narrative carved by archaeologists and historians, weaving insights gathered from centuries. But in its current military-protected state, the story remains patient, awaiting the unraveling of its thread within the expansive canvas of human achievement. It implores not only modern technology, but also a spirit of shared knowledge and global cooperation, encouraging inquiry rooted in cultural exchange and shared human curiosity. The earthly allure of Zawiat el-Aryan beckons us to embrace its existence amidst the cosmos, to contemplate the celestial harmonies intended by its creators. Modern challenges cloak it in a shrouded veil, Yet it draws persistent observers into timeless conversations, celebrating ancestral wisdom. While the geographic and geopolitical complexities postpone discoveries, the site remains etched in the imagination of those gifted with understanding, building bridges between past and present, whispering tales from beneath the sands. As the secrets of Zawiat el-Aryan unfold, they pledge rewards to those who approach with respect and intrigue. It sits not just as an archaeological conundrum, but as an emblem of human endeavor and spiritual ascent. The continuous flow of stories and discoveries illuminates the breadth of its mystery, offering insights derived from a history replete with ambition and introspection. This chapter seeks not only to recount the tales of Zawiat el-Aryan, but to invite you on a contemplative journey through time, an exploration of an Egypt still vibrant in its wonderment, a land where the unfinished becomes a point of reflection, prompting questions and inspiring reverence for the intricate mosaic of ancient ancestry. It's a call to encounter the enigma, embrace its depth, and wonder endlessly at the arcane symphony that Zawiat el-Aryan composes beneath the desert's eternal sky. The enigma of Egypt's ancient civilization often unfurls like a moonlit narrative, whispering of times where the Nile flowed through lands touched by the ethereal hands of forgotten builders. Along its fertile banks, a powerful society rose, seemingly by magic, evoking curiosity and wonder. Yet beneath this spellbound tale lies the intriguing suggestion that Egypt's grandeur may not have been born solely from the sands it inhabits, but inherited, in part, from predecessors now silent in the embrace of time. As we embark upon this journey, we peer beyond the dawn of dynastic Egypt, back to the mythic whisperings of epics when gods were said to walk the earth. In these mist-laden chapters of history, where myth and record converge, lie the first hints of an ancient legacy, whispers of a lineage steeped in divine influence and cosmic wisdom, murmur of advanced skills and metaphysical quests, woven through the fabric of Egyptian culture, a puzzle replete with questions about ancestry that beg exploration and contemplation. The very architecture of Egypt, its grand temples and monumental constructs, offers a captivating puzzle. Layered in stone, these structures hint at the passage of different hands across generations, each layer whispering secrets of an inheritance where societies built upon the legacies of those who came before, bridging epochs. Marvelous works like the Temple of Karnak and the intricately carved stones of Luxor suggest waves of construction that defy conventional timelines, hinting at ancient wisdom carefully preserved, awaiting an era ready to unveil its profound intricacies. And there are stones, formidable and silent, carved with meticulous precision that seems mythical. These primordial silent witnesses of Egypt, the great blocks of the Valley Temple near the Sphinx, stand defiant in their mystery, exuding an architectural silence. Who were the ancients that shaped such perfection from rock, and what knowledge did their hands wield? The quiet strength of these stones seems to harbor stories of a culture whose name time has forgotten, yet its legacy and craftsmanship remains undeniable. As we tread further, we find that oral traditions are vessels of wispy truths, echoing through generations like eternal songs whispered across millennia. In myths like the Edfu building texts, narratives from before Egypt's documented history surface, a primeval age painted with cosmic battles and sacred lands. These tales, suffused with metaphor and memory, hint at civilization's wisdom shaped not just by pharaohs, but by memories of epochs veiled from sight, suggesting a deep ancestry shared with a civilization once flourishing in an ancient harmony with the world. Symbols thread through this tale, weaving continuity across time, whispering the elegance and constancy of cultural memory. The Ankh, the Eye of Horus. These icons of ancient symbolism find echoes across the vast tapestry of civilization, motifs perhaps linking Egypt to a forgotten forebear whose philosophies held a profound understanding of life and eternity. Through these symbols, we unearth not just artistic legacy, but a philosophical depth inherited from trailblazers of consciousness, whose insights traverse through time's mysterious corridors, joining generations with cosmic truth. Amid these symbols stands the Sphinx, a silent guardian etched into the earth with mysteries that defy conventional understanding. Their creation, extending perhaps to periods far antecedent to Egypt as we know it, teases us with geological evidence of origins set against wetter climates of a forgotten land, suggesting identity lost amidst time's relentless sands. Here, beneath the starlit gaze, whispers of a precursor civilization remain, sculpted into the earth. A beautiful and haunting legacy. Egypt's ancient quarries also bear witness to forgotten mastery. The Aswan and Tura quarries whisper of refined techniques, mysteries embedded in the stone, revealing glimpses of methodologies mismatched to the times. These quarries echo with the ingenuity of hands that wielded tools and wisdom not alluded to by history. And from these echoes, we sense the quiet craft of cultures merged and shared, knowledge transmitted like a gentle whisper through fields of stone, a message from times when the past's heart beat with creative fervor. This creative fervor, ensconced within Egypt's monumental design, suggests more than mere stone. The esoteric whispers embrace a metaphysical understanding of geometry and cosmic order. The Great Pyramid, aligning with the four cardinal points, mirrors the universe in its sacred proportions. A cosmic dance reflecting an ancient wisdom adept at blending earthly and celestial knowledge. Sacred geometry, inherited and cherished, mirrors a resonance between earth and cosmos, embedding Egypt's structures with designs that speak of shared ancient traditions, a commonality indicating enlightened comprehension of universal harmony. Distilling this geometric elegance unveils continuity transcending time, a legacy combining sacred and scientific within a universal code preserved through the sands of time. In this tapestry of time, we see how Egypt's architectural prowess hints at an advanced technological lineage. By observing echoes of stonework from far-flung places such as Pumapunku and Baalbek, we perceive similarities that suggest perhaps shared origins or exchanges of technology, manifest in each measured cut and finely honed join. These elements of sophistication, portrayed through monuments' enduring stature, invite wonder about what might have been passed along secret historical threads, the fruition of mastery evolved beyond their linear heritage. Amidst the skyward yearning of these stone giants, Egypt's cosmology, resonant with cycles of creation and renewal, offers profound perspective. Ancient texts open a window into beliefs holding creation and dissolution within celestial rhythms, resonating with motifs echoed through other distant cultures. In these chapters of human grammar, a shared narrative gently coaxes us to ponder if these philosophical reflections are the legacy of early cosmic observations encapsulated within their society and its monuments. Central to Egyptians' spiritual order lay Ma'at, the embodiment of truth and balance woven into life, a principle devoid of sequencing, dedicated merely to human comprehension. With incredible resonance, this concept of Ma'at, aligns with universal axioms of worldwide ancestral legacies, forming a narrative whereby these principles of cosmic harmony found nurture and growth throughout Egypt's rich historical matrix. Sacred sites like Abydos pulse with whispers from long-buried narratives, guarding practices, and wisdom potentially transcending Egypt's own history. Here, sophisticated designs defy mainstream chronology, suggesting we peer into sites that host not just Egypt's spiritual heart, but stories invisibly anchoring it within an ancient network, an echo resonating from distant eras. A trove of wisdom from legendary builders emerges in the Edfu building texts, where stone and concept are companions guided by mythic figures. Here, cosmic wisdom drapes structured stone in celestial intent. A lineage forged through architectural magic and narrative depth, enduring even as bygone civilizations fade into myth, preserving stories etched as footprints in ancient memory. Myths of buried cities beneath the sands, half seen through the mists of scholarly debate and adventure alike, remind us of the allure an ancient civilization holds, one replete with narrative power interwoven with Egyptian undercurrents. Whether such cities claim princesses' dust or philosophers' echo remains undetermined. Nevertheless, the idea of lost cities amid dreamscape stirs imaginations and evokes landscapes, suggestions of forgotten lands and wisdom flowing along hidden channels beneath the sands. Egyptian structures align with celestial narratives in symbiotic accuracy, a testament to architectural and cosmic wisdom shared through generations. Alignments with starry constructs suggest a confluence where inherited stellar insight resonates, and the builder's crafted glory touches cosmic whispers, a legacy speaking to us from heavenly spheres. The Nile, eternal and enigmatic, threads through these epochs like a gentle guide, its waters a reminiscent embrace of heritage entrenched in flood and nurture, celebrating not merely as sustainer, but as spiritual symbol. By flowing alongside myths, settlements, and rites, it carries sands tied to ancestry, a life-infusing heritage echoing quieter, older lands, a deep undercurrent threading through Egypt's very soul. Every stone, an epic chronicler, marks narratives preserved in physical form, each slab bearing stories where substance and symbol meet, whispering through grand obelisks and enduringly etched granite. Carved paths, gracefully tread since ancient days, unfold deep insights from shared philosophies that persist eternally. While etching these silent conversations, we reach forth, unraveling stones into connections that bridge back through forgotten temporal shores. In Egypt's cultural tapestry, art and iconography tell stories of transcendent beauty. With stunning continuity, threads of artistry reflect legacies where forms communicate through generations. Ancient affinities and aesthetic currents ripple globally, propositioning shared ancestries akin in expression and ideas, bridging civilizations that together viewed and interpreted wondrous worlds into shared images. Their creativity, a canvas for viewing eternal beauty. Through cycles of restoration and preservation, a profound respect for Egypt's monumental lineage unfolds. Pharaonic restorations echo reverence, mending structures with care as successive generations carry forward ancient wisdom into contemporary spirit, gently preserving structures sanctified by time. Restoration during sacred paths forms a symbiotic tapestry of cultural nurture and technological legacy, stitching an interwoven harmony between past and future guardians. Intertwining myth and history, Egypt's narratives honor ancient voices through symbols and allegory. Even across the breadth of texts like the Book of the Dead, secrets reside, their language offering ritual deciphered through sacred cipher, safeguarding treasures of tradition embarked upon myriad veils. These enigmatic stories wait patiently, perhaps embodying truths closer than perceived, embodying learned traditions from alliances unseen. Religious traditions reflect a convergence drawing humanity's spiritual roots. By weaving shared motifs in tales of the divine, death, and renewal, we glimpse Egypt's potential spiritual synchronicity with ancient and early religions afar. Egyptian pantheons breathe continuity within realms ensconced beyond time's embrace, their echoes drawing inspiration from aesthetic and divine reflections echoed across human saga, a symbiotic legacy unfolding layer by intricate layer. Geological complexities reverberate through Egyptian monuments, their designs living echoes of a knowledge chorus beyond presumed historical frames. Durable designs revealing anomaly unravel tales infused with insight and written into landscapes. The tools and technologies, secretly encoded in stone, lay dormant, awaiting eyes empowered with vision capable of peering beyond boundaries into inventiveness of ancient days. They offer an intimate glimpse at historical harmonies guiding creation. As our exploration concludes, we find the quest for universal consciousness to be central, a theme winding through the golden fabric of Egypt's meditative spiritual journey. This narrative of discovery speaks to us across ages, joining spiritual and scientific thought, extending modern eyes toward ancient ethos, shaping cosmic understanding. Through this tale woven in eternal patterns, lingering whispers of elusive dimensions implore us upon the doorstep of cosmic memory, a tradition born beyond empirical reach, tilting ever beyond ordinary. Completing this passage through Egypt's esoteric corridors, we muse anew upon connections unfolding as bridges through times long forgotten. In each stone, every verse, and timeless tale, we rediscover links between beings and belief, bound within mysteries imbued by temple and temple keeper alike. Embracing these threads within Egypt's ethereal cobwebs inspires tranquil introspection upon untold inheritance, encouraging us forward on resonant quests guided by shadows of forgotten realms, a journey wrapped in ancient wonder and revelatory beauty.